right away.
Following a valiant display at Villa Park last Sunday, West Ham took a short trip from east to west on Monday to take on Chelsea. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. That lasted long, didn't it? See?
Oh, well, Jake is having technical difficulties, it seems.
Honestly,
It's still here.
There you go. I saw your face for a minute.
My perfectly scripted intro has just gone to pot. Right, just give me a second. Larry, how are you? Phil, how are you?
Good.
Yeah,
I wish
we're good.
I wish we were playing on the weekend instead of Monday, but I'm good.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Let's
We're
try
all
it
good
again,
here.
shall we? Right, this is live, as you can see. I hope this will work. There we are. Right, I've got no idea what's going on. Welcome to West Ham Unofficial, a slightly more disordered start to a preview that we've seen in our time. But yeah, as I was saying, a spirited performance at Villa Park on Sunday. Now can West Ham push this on through in our next game? Chelsea away under the lights, Monday Night Football. It's got all the ingredients of being a fantastic game. Will the Hammers turn up with any signings at all? Of course, as Monday is also transfer deadline day. We've been silent on the most part so far in terms of real signings. Evan Ferguson is the lead rumour in terms of a striker. Of course, will that happen? Most probably not. But look, lads, Chelsea on Monday night. Chelsea have faltered a little bit. They've been bizarre at best. They've been brilliant and then pretty average through the entirety of this season. Larry, what's your thoughts heading into this?
You know, I'm optimistic because the reason I really liked how we played the second half, even though we played so well, or is it Villa? Villa just lost to Wolves. So, you know, what's up with those guys? But no matter what, we all know that second half West Ham club, with the injuries that we had, was pretty impressive. I was very happy with what I saw in the attacking and things like that. So I'm going into it. And then, like you just said, Chelsea right now, not to go to my stats yet, but I do have them, 2-1-2 in the last 5. And they look mediocre against Man City. And Palmer, you know, he was knocked before that. He didn't look like 100%. So, but they've had, you know, so we'll see what happens. But I'm going to go in optimistic with this one.
Yeah, Phil, how are you feeling? Did last week give you that bit of optimism that Larry's talking about there?
Yeah, slight optimism. I think because we're sort of hoping that Bowen and Sanford make a decent recovery so they can feature in this game. So that's something to look forward to potentially. But yeah, we obviously didn't win, but there was a lot of positives to take from the previous game. So if we go in with that confidence going into this game against Chelsea, I think there's no reason why we can't go there, give it a go. It's a bit of revenge time for Graham Potter as well, going back to Stamford Bridge.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, well, Larry will know that sometimes I can be not the most optimistic heading into games like this, but I feel a little bit different this time around. You'll be glad to know, Larry, I'm going to join you in your optimism. I think we're going to get something out of it. I'm actually quite confident. From what I saw last week at Villa, I was there in person and I got a real sense of a change. It felt like a turning point in that second half. I thought we were excellent and I thought we were actually really unfortunate not to come away with all 3 points. And there was some unity within the fan base again, which was evident from being there. There were 3,000 people that knew what we were trying to do. There were 3,000 people that could understand and could actually evidently see that we could win the game, and it was a bit unfortunate that we didn't. And those same 3,000 will go to Stamford Bridge on Monday with the extra implications and ramifications of a away game against Chelsea. It will be electric, certainly from the away contingent behind that goal, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what we do and standing up against a big side like this. It's a big test for Graham Potter, one of the first ones. I said Larry, you'll know this. I said when Graham Potter came in that I was going to judge him after that Villa game in the
Yeah.
Premier League, and so far, I mean, that Palace game was pretty poor. You know, we can't sway away from that. But if we can replicate that performance that we had last week on Monday night, we give ourselves more than half a chance, Larry.
100%, because as we all talked about, like the first 15 minutes, we're like, "Oh, this is miserable," and like what I was saying, the first half we started gradually getting a little bit better, and then that second half, we could have walked away with a victory there. We had so many opportunities, and the team just were playing better together and free flowing it. So that gives me the optimism that we got a chance. The last two matches, we've got pummeled by these guys. You know, I think we lost 5-0 and 3-0 the one before that. So this is some revenge time. And, you know, I like Phil said, what I'm worried about, Phil, is I don't think Somerville's ready yet. I think Bowen may be ready, but I don't if we see him on the if we see him on the lineup, my prediction is that he won't start just because he's not, you know, fitness wise in the with the leg. But if it's close in the second half, we could maybe bring him on for a spark there. That's just my my prediction. I don't know what's going to happen with it. I'd love to see him fully out there, but what I've heard with Somerville is that hamstring still bother him a little bit. And we all know with them hamstring injuries, you don't know until you test it out. And then when you try to do those big sprints is when you get that feeling. But then after a while, you get nervous because you don't want to have that feeling again. So I think he's not going to be there tomorrow, which is upsetting. But again, if we can have that second half like we did against Villa, I'm ready to go. I hope we see a lackluster Chelsea team like I saw them against Man City, because I watched that match and they really didn't impress me too much.
I mean, that is a positive what you said, Larry, because you said, I mean, I don't think we'll see him there tomorrow. We won't see anyone there tomorrow because they're playing on Monday.
I mean Monday. Sorry about that. Yeah, sorry. I wish it was tomorrow.
No, all good. I'm just messing. But Phil, Larry makes a good point there in terms of we've been pummeled by these lot in our last two games. Now, we don't like them. I don't like them at all. I think they're arrogant, to be totally honest. And we went there in the bitter end of Moyes and lost 5-0. And we lost there in the early bitter stages of Lopetegui 3-0 at our place. We've got a point to prove. We want to be returning to the David Martin day. We want to be returning to the, Cornet day, where I know we didn't win that day, but we gave them a good go. We've rolled over and we've been battered too many times against this lot over the last couple of years. For once now, it's time to stand up and give them a game, because I think we can get at them.
Yeah, the tide needs to change, doesn't it? So we're getting into this game a lot more, what we said earlier, more optimism, a bit more confidence than those two previous games you just mentioned there with Lopetegui and Moyes. So this team, they've got more spirit and more of a fighting chance now. Even if we do lose it, it'll be more us giving it a chance rather than getting pummeled 5-0. So yeah, look, as long as we show up, and if it's anything to go by their performance last week, why can't we give it a go? Even if it's not because of us being that good, but for them being not playing that well.
Yeah.
We need to capitalise. Yeah, go on, Larry.
Yeah, no, and it feels a spot on there, because it's got to. What I saw in the second half was the team really giving the effort. And as a fan base, we do, and rightfully so. We'll go straight after the manager and stuff like this. But you can only go after, and I've said this before, Jake, you know this, is that we can only go after managers so many times. These professionals that are getting paid a lot of money need to look themselves in the mirror and say, do that. And I saw that in the second half, because there's only so many times and so many managers you can rotate through. And the players is what we have, or the players what we have. And they're still quality. They have been proven. Now, we brought them in. We were all happy. Now, we're dealing with injuries. I love that we're using the youngsters again. Scott's coming up there, man. I've always liked him, and he's proven himself. I'd love to see it. If we do a back three, I'd love to see him on the left. I really do. He's a young, big guy. I've heard people compare him to, I know this is a big statement, but to a young Rice when he was coming up and stuff like that. So, But
Larry, the fact and reality of it is that in the remaining 15 minutes of the first half and the entirety of the second half last Sunday, I saw more fight, spirit, determination and
100%.
desire than I've seen throughout the entirety of the season so far under Lopetegui. And you mentioned Scholes there. I mean, not only is it good to get the youngster involved, he got the crowd up. He came on, Ollie Scholes, he's one of he's one of our own. He played that pass through that very nearly reached Paqueta, who was through on goal, and another
100%.
yard on
That
it.
was, yeah.
And that was nearly a divine
Mm.
ball. And for once, we've got a sort of fear and complete, disease against putting a foot in and actually closing defenders down when they're on the flanks. First thing he did when he came, well, he didn't back off and let the wingers come into the box. He went and he put his foot in, he won the ball, and everyone gets up. Like, it's
Yeah,
not
no, I'm
difficult.
with you. We love, if you want to energize us fans, is put the youngsters in. And then when they do well, it's even more so. But we like to see that. And Potter's
Yeah.
going to do that. So when we get when I think of the future and stuff like that going into the summer, like the Potts, the Earthy and all those stuff, when they come back, he's going to give them a shot, man. When we couldn't
Yeah.
say that about previous managers. So that's a refreshing thing. Of course, we're going to try to get some experience and somebody out there different, but it's good to know that we have that option. And he's done a smart job because, again, we've talked about this before. Before, when we got hurt and we had no depth like last year, we still would never go to them to the youth very often. It's like, come on, you got to try. At least Potter is doing that because he doesn't have much of a choice because we are battered injury wise. And again, if we can make it, and I said this in reaction, if we can make it through this rough patch and get some of our players back, Tadebo's still probably out for another 4 weeks. I didn't realize his injury was that bad. Somerville will be coming back, and Bowen's coming back record. We thought we weren't going to see him to the end of February, and he has a chance to show up on Monday. So those are positives, and the team's got the spirit, like you said, Jack. Spot on. You saw a lot more enthusiasm and hustle last match, which is hopeful.
And the good thing about it, Phil, is that it's not just because Skulls is a youngster. It's because he hasn't put a foot wrong as well. It's brilliant that he's a youngster and we brought him through, but he hasn't put a foot wrong in the 3 games that he's played.
No, I mean his confidence is just sky high. I feel like he's going to get better every time he plays, and it won't be too long in the future when he'll be a permanent starter. I think that'll be the next stage really, because I don't think he started any games. He's always come off the bench. So, yeah, if he gets a start, I wouldn't say it'd be for the Chelsea game, but maybe in a few games, depending on who's available or whatever. He'll relish in that, and so he'll get better and better. Us as fans love it because of him being a youngster, and like you said, he ain't put a foot wrong. So I think
Absolutely.
he's definitely the future.
He is.
100%, Phil. 100%.
Yes. Let's take some comments before we go any further. Leslie, hope you are
Leslie.
well. We signed a young striker for the academy, but nothing yet for the first team. It's been a little bit frustrating. What's your thoughts? I didn't expect anything, but the dilly-dallying we've done over Ferguson over the last week has frustrated me a little bit. Like, we could have went out and got him, right, and we haven't, and we've chose not to. We've dilly-dallied around, and it now seems like we're probably not going to get him, and it's frustrating to an extent because we need something. Now that is commented tonight. Have you hired Lopetegui as head of production? Well, quite possibly, with the absolute shambolic start to this stream tonight. Of course, we ooze professionalism here at West Ham Official all the time, and I apologise for that. Probably not worth 40 million, but who is worth what people pay for players anymore? It's so heavily inflated, especially in the January transfer window. I mean, Spurs have got about 6 fit players and they haven't signed anybody, and that sums up the January transfer window.
That's a good shout. But you know what? We are doing our traditional West Ham thing. Sullivan said he'll go to the fans. I bid for him, but he gives them almost an absurd bid sometimes, when like $10 million difference and stuff like that. Or if you get down to $5 million or something, like, when are we going to get over the goal line and just accept this? But this is the same tactics that Sullivan always uses, and we'll see up there. That's why we've always talked about it. And I just try not to pay attention anymore. I don't know until I know they came for a medical where we're that close. As we all know, we're all going through the same pain. Every time it's the same thing. You know what I mean? Where we get these, and everybody in the YouTube world, and trust me, I watch it, so I'm not going to be a hater on there. But everybody wants to go quick and put this player up, this player up. Man, I get so tired of seeing that crap. I'm just like, show me when they're getting the medical, right? Because
exactly.
So yeah.
Exactly. That used to be us. I have neither the time or the energy to be
100%.
worrying around transfer rumor shows anymore. If it gets to that late stage, then we'll talk about it. But
100%.
Other than that, it's just noise, really. Phil, we need to sign somebody, really, with the state of our squad at the minute. We need some signings. I never thought we were going to sign anyone. I don't think we will sign anyone. But with the state of our front line at the moment, we probably need to sign someone.
Yeah, we do, definitely. I mean, how things have gone over the last few years, I'm resigned to the fact that we never end up signing anyone in January until the very last dying embers of the window. And obviously, we've been linked with a few people this January. Obviously, Evan Ferguson's the most highlighted one, especially this past week or so. It's if we do go in for him, it'd be good considering he's a young age and we know he had talent. But at the end of the day, it it's every person you sign is a risk, and he has got a lot of injuries in particular
Yeah.
already. I've heard a lot of he's got, meningitis as well, which isn't
Mm.
good as well. Um, it's hard because we can all want this striker that we all want, and then only takes 2 or 3 games, then they're injured, and then we're back to square one again.
Exactly.
But
Yeah.
that's all part of the risk of when we go and sign all these players.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, to be fair, there was one transfer rumour that caught my eye yesterday, which I very nearly made a video on, and it came from TSR Football, who reported that we are contemplating a 6-month loan for the only
Oh, I know. I saw that too.
Oh
Craig
yes,
Dawson. What
Oh,
I
oh
would
God, that
pay
picture.
to see that guy back in a West Ham shirt, bring the king home on a 6-month loan, pay him what he wants, right? I'll chop money at it, right? Pay him what he wants. Get Craig to give him the house that he wants, right? Make Essex look like the north if that's where he wants to live, right? Pay for his taxi to go back up north if he wants to. Get Craig Dawson back in a West Ham shirt. I think I should start a
Hey,
petition, actually.
Get him
hey,
a plot.
Jake, Craig Dawson, your favorite footballer. You work at Craig's. Is there a correlation? I don't know. There's some kind of
Maybe we do
is
a
it,
Craig Dawson donut at Greg's.
or
Yeah.
a sausage.
Yeah. A Craig Dawson sausage roll. We should get like his name.
There
Like
you go.
that's what he should do with the little lines they do on the sausage rolls. You should get a big one and they should like form it into a jigsaw of like Craig Dawson's face. Could you imagine that? Could you imagine that? Do you know what? I've got this big wall here of like, I mean, to be fair, on most streams you can't see it, but I can move it. But I've got this big wall here of like West Ham
Nice.
pictures, and it is notably lacking a Craig Dawson. So I think that might have to be
I
my
thought
next
you
one.
had a Dawson before. I thought you had.
No, I
such a name
don't. I
before.
mean, up right in the top, I still have one Declan Rice one. So I think I'm going to get rid of that, and I'm going to replace it with a Craig Dawson one. I think.
I think
Yeah.
that's a good idea.
I'll tell you what, if he comes back, that'll be the happiest day of my life, honestly. I would love nothing more. Anyway, that's enough Craig Dawson chat. I wouldn't touch Ferguson with a barge pole, let alone £40 million.
Yeah.
Now, this is the question. Has Larry learned any of his slang yet? And Peter says Larry should be speaking like Alf Garnett by now. Now, as some of you may have noticed, of course, I bought Larry a English slang book so he can get up to date, and he's utilised his favourite in his name description as happiest Larry, which I found
Exactly.
Now, Larry,
Hey.
have you learned some in the book? Have you got the book there?
Oh, I should have brought it up. No, it's downstairs. It's right next to
Yeah.
my table that I have all my prime reading material.
So, have you got any phrases that you've been reading through?
I want to do whatever you want. This is just a little taste. I want to give you a taste, guys.
Okay.
Not too much, but if we win on Monday, I'm going to be happy as Larry because you guys are very smart over there. That when you use my name when you're happy, which makes me happy. And
There
then
we are.
and then it's a very basic one. I use it all the time, but it was out of the book. If we lose, I'm going to be gutted.
Okay.
Pa-
Well,
Page 6 of that bestseller that I have downstairs.
more to come in the weeks coming as
Oh, you got
Larry
more. That's
revises.
just a taste.
Just a taste. More to come as Larry revises his English slang. I look forward to it. Ipswich totally peed off that they lost to the Saints.
Oh,
Yeah,
God.
I would be as well.
That's really bad results. I take it we will be playing the officials as well as Chelsea. Well, that's normally the case at Stamford Bridge, so I'd expect nothing less. But could you imagine if we picked something up there? The scenes, the scenes. Honestly,
I just got that feeling.
So do I. That amount, not suggesting it should be spent on Ferguson. Just surprised. There's never that money available. Start Scholes on Monday as he wants to show Chelsea what they missed out on. Exactly.
100%, Peter.
Start Scholes.
100%.
What's the point in starting Creswell, right? When you've got
No
Scholes
point.
there. Start
No point at
Scholes,
all.
for goodness sake. He did, he brought energy, he brought impetus, and he brought a bit of direction going forward on that left-hand side. Put
I like
him.
the Yep, I like the three at the back, and then they had the wing backs with Emerson on the left and Wampa-Saka on the right, who was my man of the match in that second half. I'm loving me some Wampa-Saka.
Yeah. Yeah, see,
Oh,
Peter, you haven't got to poop on my parade, all right? If Dawson were to come back, why did he leave in the first place? Let's just imagine the moment, the sheer joy of Craig Dawson returning to West Ham United. I would absolutely love nothing more. Dawson no longer first choice and has scored a
True.
few own goals. Yeah, but let's
That's
just
true.
stop. Just
he'll be
stop
reunited with
criticising
Kilman.
him.
Oh, that's
Exactly.
right.
Could you
He'd
imagine
be
Kilman and Dawson, all right?
Dawson in the middle, first match, and gets a corner header from the middle. Would we run it up and down the streets, huh, Jake?
Exactly. Right, let's have a look here. Will Larry sneak some of his slang into his reaction video as well? Will he have the time to prepare that?
That's a good idea. I might be able to do that. Throw a little bit
I
in
look
there.
forward to hearing that.
I got to get my accent a little together. My wife's helped.
You do.
We got another Siri we put into the kitchen area, and she gave it an English accent. Even the
That's
wife's
brilliant.
turning on it. Even the wife's turning on
Well,
it, baby.
even the wife is as well. Well, maybe that's your indication to book some flights and get yourself over here then, Larry. That's your convincing mechanism right there.
I've told her I said I wanted to get at least an apartment there, and just I'll keep coming back every once in a while.
Brilliant. Phil, some thoughts on Chelsea. Currently sat sixth in the Premier League. They were, for a moment, thought they were in a title race, but that is disintegrated. In sixth, 40 points on the board. Newcastle and Man City have leaped above them. They're level on points with Bournemouth, currently, who lost to the league leaders today. So they're in and amongst the European race. They have improved this season. There's no doubt about that. What have you made of them, Phil?
It's hard to really describe Chelsea, really, because I think, especially over the last couple of years, we've been used to them being, you know, just a fallen giant, really. They've not been the same as, especially what I've known growing up anyway. But I feel like they are sort of clicking, but I think this season they've really been hot and cold too much.
Yeah.
So you don't really know what sort of Chelsea team you're going to come up against.
Mm-hmm.
That's the problem with them.
Yeah, I mean they blow hot and cold. They're a side that can be scintillating one week and be awful the next. We found that out the hard way at their place last season. They weren't very good and they turned up and they beat us 5-0. And maybe that was a sign that they can be very good. Now this is a good segue. Now, Phil, you might not be familiar with this new segment of our preview show. As now it's time. It's good playing on a Monday night because we can do this. It's now time to start the music. Right, this could go really wrong because I've got so many buttons to press here and I don't know where they are. It's time to head over to the heavily anticipated. Can you hear the music? Where's the music? Not turned on. There we go. Right, it's time. I don't care. To head over to the famous Larry Stat Attack. Is he happy? Is he not? Let's go over to Larry for the Stat Attack.
Thank you, young man. I appreciate that. Chelsea going against them. They're actually sixth right now, 40 points. West Ham, we sit at 14th with Moisey boys coming right behind us at Everton, but that's a whole nother story. Head-to-head matches in the Prem against Chelsea, 57 matches head-to-head. We are 16 wins, 10 draws, and a big 31 losses. So
Larry, this gets no better week on week.
Hey, we've had some roller coasters on these scores. The last two matches. We lost 3-0, 5-0, and then I think it was August of 2003. We actually won 3-1. They are not in form right now. They're 2-1-2. I watched them last week, so but we're looking okay. But we're 1-1-3 in the last. So 1 win, 1 draw, 3 losses. So we're coming in. The biggest thing that I saw from them is that Potter Palmer, 14 goals. Jackson, who always does well against us, 9 goals. They're the leaders. It's funny. It goes to show you, and I love my potato salad Souček, but it goes to show you we're not scoring many goals. He's tied now with Bowen with 5 goals, and we know Bowen's been out for a while, so producing goals has been an issue with us. For their assists, Palmer and Jackson again. So if we can contain them, it's hard to say that. If we can keep the pressure down on Palmer and Jackson, they're the guys that are really making them move down the field. So let me get to other things. For us, And again, they're fourth, I think fourth overall in scoring. They got 45 goals. We got 28. They've only given up 30 compared to our 44. So it's a uphill battle, but I feel confident going into Monday's match. Take it over, Jake. Thank you.
There we go. There is the fantastic Stat Attack back once again for another week. A little bit rusty, Larry, there. You were?
Sorry.
All good, all good. Thank you very much for that. Now it's time to head over to predictions. Now, Mike's not here this week, so I can't get in his head and nick his prediction. So that is always unfortunate. I don't know where Mike is. Where's he to? Slack him. Skiving. They're all skiving, Larry. Where are they all?
That's what I was supposed to say. That's Saturday, everybody, except Gary, because Gary usually goes out dancing on Saturday nights.
Yeah, Gary's under the thumb, so he's got to go out like date night.
100%.
Yeah.
Gary goes to those over 50 dance clubs on Saturday night.
Gary goes where he's told. I don't know where Mike and I don't know where Mike and Nigel are, but anyway, predictions. Phil, what are you feeling?
Very, very, very hard to predict this one. I'm gonna go with a 1-1 draw. I think there'll be a half decent performance from us, but I don't know how Chelsea's gonna show up. You don't know which Chelsea's gonna show up, so I'll stick with 1-1 for now.
Larry,
I think after watching them last week, I think we're going to see a similar performance. I'm going to go 2-1 West Ham.
There we go. Now I'm going to go through my train of thought now. Now my initial prediction, I had two predictions in my head, 1-1 and then another one, which I'm going to go with. And then I thought maybe 2-1, and then Larry took it. So it's going to be a bit boring. And I tell you what, I don't do this very often, but I'm going to predict Chelsea 0, West Ham United 0. I think it's going to be a goalless draw, and we're going to scuttle away with a point. Now, you won't see. I think you'll see me do that once or twice a season. I've just got a feeling that this has got a draw, and Phil took 1-1, and I don't think we'll score 2. So I'm going to go 0-0, and a well-deserved point on the road. But I mean,
I would take a point, though. Don't get me wrong, guys.
But absolutely. Who wouldn't? I mean, you'd be foolish not to take a point.
100%.
It'll be 1 point gained more than 2 points dropped.
Absolutely.
Totally agree. Yep.
Definitely. So we are put that in the diary. I don't often predict 0-0, but today is that day. Peter's come with his reverse psychology as always. 3-1.
All right, Peter.
Chelsea 1-0.
Positivity.
To be fair, Dad was right last week. Dad predicted 1-0 last week, and he was right. So he's repeating that and agreeing with Phil. 2-1 to the Irons. There you go. Leon's agreeing.
All right, Leon. Good man. Good.
2-1 to West Ham.
Wally, my man Wally.
We don't keep clean sheets. We don't, but you've got to start somewhere, haven't you? At home we're not. It is at Stamford Bridge. There we are. So some final thoughts, gents, before we go. Phil?
Let's get something back. We'll still a point at the Bridge. Graham Potter gets some sort of revenge, and we want some positivity.
There we are. Some positivity. And Larry, are you happy? Finish things off?
I'll be happy as Larry if we get the win. Gutted if we lose. I want to see the team that we saw the second half of Villa with the passion, the motivation, the passing each other. They kind of knew what each other was at. When Paqueta kicks it back, he knew where the guy. That's when the team's starting to get their fit. They feel each other. So if I see that, even if we don't get the victor, or if we get a tie or something, I'll be happy. Again, it's about the performance against a good team like that. So if I see the performance and the hustle, we all know what we mean by that. Sometimes if we don't get the results we want, but we saw the passion and playing well together, that's what I want to see.
Absolutely. Now, Fathead and Russ were that little bit braver than me, and they've gone for a Desmond. A little bit braver than me, so I admire that. Rusty V, I hope you well. And to stay above the Spuds. Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's the most important thing, that is.
That is the most important thing. So hopefully Brentford can do the business against Spurs tomorrow. Absolutely. Leon says, I want to see Larry doing a YouTube short calling us massive. Well, you have to wait till Monday night, Tuesday morning to see that, and it will be eagerly anticipated. Larry, I'm not being funny. More people watch that than they do me, so maybe you should just take it all over. You'd make me more money, to be honest.
They just feel sorry for me, Jake. That's a whole different story.
No, I don't think so. I think I'm genuinely going to explore the possibility of letting you do it, and I'll take the money because I mean your
Are you?
videos make more money than my videos.
Well, I don't see any money, and I give you money, so who knows? This is a rigged. This is a hey, this is a rigged deal anyway. No, I'm just
You love me, really. No, honestly, shorts don't make me very much money at all. So
no, well, I don't matter. I enjoy doing it. Really, I like the fans. I'm a passionate person. I care about the team, so I really enjoy doing this and doing the shorts.
No, I do. Thank you very much for that. And people like them now. Why no Tash tonight? I think I put them down here. Give me 2 seconds.
Hey, what happened? You were and Richard. You guys were supposed to send a picture. You guys wearing the stashes on the match.
Yeah, I bottled it. I bottled it.
You forgot the stashes, or just didn't want to do it.
No, they were in my back pocket, but yeah, I bottled it. Here they are. Here are the Tashes that I bought. I'm not going to use one tonight, but they are here, ready and waiting for the next few weeks to get the. Maybe I'll take one to. Because I'm stood with Nigel on Monday night, so I'll take one and I'll have one and we'll have a picture. All right.
That'll be good. You're gonna buy him a pint or a coffee, or you ain't gonna open up that. Wow.
Well, it depends how I'm feeling, to be honest. I mean, to be fair, he has got me the ticket, so I ought to buy him a pint, really. But you know, it just depends how generous I'm feeling. I mean, costs a lot of money, you know. 30 quid for the ticket. My bank account's been crying, right?
Oh,
bank account's been crying. I did loads of shopping today, right? Birthday presents galore. But my bank account is in ruins, Larry. Like, you don't understand. It's an absolute ruin.
I can only imagine.
Exactly. Well, yeah, you could talk. Sat there in your 6-bedroom mansion in Lexington, Kentucky.
Negative.
Jake could get served a beer with a Tash. I wish I could. I tell you what, I'd take him everywhere if I could. Absolutely. Right, we'll leave it there. Phil and Larry, thank you very much indeed for joining me on tonight's preview.
No worries.
You're welcome. Very good.
And thank you very much indeed everybody for watching at home. There will be a road trip on Monday afternoon where I exit for the dentist. Yeah, you know, you've got to do what you've got to do, innit? Dentist appointment Monday afternoon. Yeah, dentist via Kensington is what I'm saying. So yeah, there'll be a road trip on Monday afternoon. There'll be a vlog in the small hours of Tuesday morning, so you can either wait up eagerly, it'll be out about midnight, or you can just see it on Tuesday morning, hopefully seeing a West Ham win. I would love that. Not a 2:30 appointment then. Oh, it is.
That's funny.
I've got some major work to be done, Peter. You don't understand. I got some major work to be done Monday afternoon.
Eating too many sweets.
Yeah, well, I have. Yeah, and crisps, as you saw before the show. Absolutely.
You're doing damage to them crisps.
They were nice. I mean, the empty plate sums it up, to be honest. Yeah. But there we are. From us, come on, your irons.
Come on, your irons.
See you soon right here on West Official. Thank you very much, and enjoy the rest of your Saturday. Good night. Cheers, gents. Thank you.